Your habits will make or break you, bro. Why is it that so many people out there in the world seem to be successful? Why there's a vast majority of people who don't see any success in their life? Their results suck. They're fat, they're broke, they're addicted, they just have no purpose in life. They have no sense of fulfillment. The difference between every single person simply comes down to habits. And your habits is what determines your circumstances. So if you have circumstances right now you don't like, you're fat, you're addicted, okay, you can't give up porn, you can't give up alcohol, you can't give up weed. If you're in any one of these circumstances, the reality is it all just comes down to your habits. The only difference between a guy who's overweight and a guy who's lean and has a six pack is his habits. That's literally it. That's it. And you can argue against this. You can say, oh, no, that's not true, bro. That's not true. But the reality is, if you actually start to follow what I'm saying here and you're actually being open minded and not overly critical, you'll realize that it's the truth. Because the only thing that determines that some guy is going to actually lose fat and get in shape is because number one, he has the knowledge of what to do. But most importantly, he's become the kind of person who can execute on that knowledge. You might know a ton of different stuff about fitness, about personal development. But guess what? Unless you can actually put that shit in action, unless you can actually stay disciplined enough to actually see the process through, it doesn't really mean shit. It doesn't really matter how much you know when you have no results. See, that's what I started to realize was like you can only focus so much on gathering knowledge, then you must turn it into wisdom by applying it, right? You have to actually understand the information because information is not wisdom. So if you want to actually get results in life, if you want to actually live an amazing life, you have to focus on habits. Habits are the key. The habits will determine your circumstances. If you want to become a guy who gets good results, you want the six pack, okay, you want the girls, you want the money, right? You want to have a business or you want to have, make a lot of money in your career. You have to first focus on becoming the kind of person who can even handle that level of success. Right? A lot of us want these things and that's great. It's good to have the desire, but you're not even at the level of being able to handle that. If that was given to you, you would lose it because you haven't developed the discipline. You haven't developed the habits to maintain that yet. And that's what everybody gets wrong. They think, oh, if I could just, with a snap of my fingers, have a six pack. It's like, bro, if I gave you the blueprint right now for you to go get a six pack, okay? I just give you a blueprint. I tell you exactly what to do, what you need to do every single day. You're going to fail it, bro. You're going to fail. And you're going to fail not because you don't know what to do or because you don't have the information. You're going to fail because you don't have the discipline. You haven't built the habits yet. So how do we actually get out of this loop? Because so many of us are stuck into this loop. Well, I've said it a million times, right? It comes down to a few key things. Number one, you must get rid of the habits and distractions that are destroying you. You must get rid of self-destructive behavior. You must get rid of the things that are holding you back, the painkillers that sedate you and keep you numb. Alcohol, video games, porn, weed, all of these things, no matter what. Okay, and there's a whole list. I'm sure I'm going to offend you in some way, but the reality is all of these things will hold you back because those things in and of themselves are a habit, right? That's why you do them. That's why you're addicted to them is because they are a habit. They release dopamine. You love the feeling. Your brain loves the feeling because of the dopamine release that it gets. But the reality is that's going to make it harder for you to do the habits that are actually good for you, that will actually bring you the results that you want. Because it's like if you can go to the gym, you can choose to either go to the gym and to diet and be eating what you need to be eating in order to get ripped, right? Or you can go out every week, hang out with your buddies, go to the gym and or not the gym, the bar, and have a great time and have a few drinks. Which one are you going to choose? Obviously, your brain wants to go with the latter, right? It wants to go with the one that's easier, not going to expend as much calories, you're not going to be uncomfortable. But that's the thing. In the modern world, they've convinced us, they've fooled us into believing that comfort is where we should reside, and it's not. You should reside always in an area of being uncomfortable. You should always be pushing yourself. Now, if you want to be like the masses, if you want to be like the 99% of people out here trapped in the fucking matrix, and you want to just stay like average as fuck your whole life and live an existence of not really growing as a human being, then go ahead and continue to do what everyone else is doing. This is the thing, is what I say when people argue with me about this concept. Look around you and look at the amount of people out here who are following the same pattern, the same brainwashing that they've been given as they've been growing up. Go to school, go to college, drink, go out and party all the time, just stick with your job because it's okay, but you're not really passionate about it. You don't really feel fulfilled doing it. And it's like, bro, this is your one life. Like, wake the fuck up. This is your one life. If you aren't willing to get rid of the habits that are holding you back, you will never succeed. Because how could you? How can you succeed in counting your macros every day? How can you succeed in staying consistent at the gym when you cannot simply wake up at the same time every single day? When you can't even wake up at a time that's uncomfortable for you? Like, if you can't do basic things, if you don't know how to form a simple habit, then you'll never get ripped, because the whole point, the whole way that you do get in shape, the whole way that you do become a millionaire is through doing habits. You have to know how to form habits. You have to know how to block out distractions. So the biggest thing I've realized is law of detachment is king, right? You need to detach from the outcome that you seek. If you seek to get in the best shape of your life, you must detach from that outcome and instead put all your focus and desire into the process. That's what I did back in 2021 and the end of 2021. I decided to get back into the gym. It was like November, December. Really, it was 2022 when I really got full swing into my journey. And what I did was I started to form the habit every day after work. I would go to the gym after work, right? I would be outside working on a house. I would be covered in dust, paint, all this kind of crap, right? I would come home, change, go to the gym. Sometimes I would even change while I was in my car and then go into the gym. And I formed a habit because I was going at the same time every single day and I was hitting that same workout 6 days a week. And that is what allowed me to get the momentum. And eventually I started to love the process. See, everyone's focused on the result. Oh, I want the abs, bro. I want to be jacked like you. What do I do? It's like, bro, yes, okay, that's good. I'm glad you understand you want that. Are you ready to put in the work? I want to be a millionaire. Are you ready to put in the work, bro? Are you ready to make the sacrifices? Because if you're not willing to wake up on time, if you're not willing to give up the alcohol, if you're not willing to give up the weed, then how can you expect to become the kind of person who you can even respect, who you even think is worth it? A lot of people don't even think they are worth having results in their life because they've broken their word to themselves so many times. Like, you said you're not going to do this thing and you do it. You said you're going to show up here and you do it. You say you're going to stay consistent at the gym and you just fail. You say you're going to get your eating under control, but you don't do it. So you break your word to yourself so many times that you can't trust yourself anymore. And when you can't trust yourself, you don't think you're worth it. You don't believe that you're actually worth getting that result. And that's the saddest thing, because if your self-image is stuck in that area and in that belief system, you will never grow or progress in anything. So if we really boil this down, it just comes to simply the main difference between the person who has the result that you want and where you're at right now are their daily habits, right? And yes, it's important to know what you have to do and how you need to do it. But it's more important to know that you can actually trust yourself to execute upon that. If I give you a blueprint right now to get in the best shape, to cut your fat, to burn your fat, to build muscle, and you get in shape, it's got your macros, it's got the workout plan and everything. If I give that to you, will you be able to follow through with it? And a lot of us, we don't trust ourselves enough, so we just go, oh yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to follow through with that. I'm probably not going to execute on that because, your past history has no evidence. Yeah, I'm probably not going to follow through with that, so yeah, I'm going to skip out on that. But then you sit there and complain about the fact that you're not getting the result. And it's like, well, you can't have it both ways. You can't, if you want to get the result, you have to develop the right habits in order to get it. Now, the problem is if you don't trust yourself, if you've broken your word to yourself so many times, how do you fix that? Well, I can only speak for me and what's worked for me. And one of the things that has worked for me, and this is why I always talk about the morning routine. This is why I talk about having a habit tracker. This is why I talk about quitting the vices and quitting the things that are holding you back, is because you learn to trust yourself through actually proving that you can. And you prove that you can by doing the things that you need to do every day that you don't feel like doing. Do you think I really wanted to wake up this morning at 4:15? Hell no. Hell no, dude. I went to bed at like 11 and I woke up at 4:15. It was like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. It sucked. But I did it because it's hard. And people go, oh, well, what's the big benefit of waking up? You need 8 hours of sleep. And it's like, bro, I'm doing this because it's hard. And when you do things that are hard you don't want to do, it's basically like being in the gym and doing reps, right? It's reps of discipline. You're increasing your discipline. You're increasing your ability to do something when you don't feel like doing it. So that's why I wake up early. That's why I do the cold showers. That's why, I do my cardio in the morning when I don't feel like it and I'm fasted, even though I want to just get up and go eat right away. I don't, because it's discipline. And if you have discipline and you can create the habits associated with being a disciplined kind of man, then you can start to achieve anything you want in life. Because once you get that blueprint, once you get the information of what you need to do, it's simple. You just act on it. You just do it, right? You just do it. But this is the problem is everyone's seeking how to do something. And then when they're given the answer, they go, oh, it can't be that simple. Or, oh, that can't be right. But the reality is, that's true. That's the answer. That's the blueprint. You just can't follow through. The real problem is not how, it's who. You're not at the level to be able to follow through on the information that's being given. So habits separate you from the desire that you have. And if you can detach, you can practice law of detachment and detach from that result you want. Detach from wanting the abs, right? The physique that you want to have. Detach from your need to be drinking and to be doing all these bad things. And you can focus in on the process of the daily habits every single day, then you can't lose, bro. When I woke up this morning, I did not feel like getting up. I felt like shit, to be honest with you. I got up, I went out to the couch, started to do my journaling. I went outside, got my push-ups, then we went to cardio, then cold shower. By the time I was done, I had elevated myself into a higher vibrational state. And because of that, I felt good again. So it's not even so much, I realize now, I used to preach a lot about needing 8 hours of sleep. It's really not true, bro. It's not true. You don't necessarily have to get 8 hours of sleep to be healthy. Now, there's going to be a bunch of people that argue with me in the comments. Oh, bro, yes, you do. You have to get 8 hours of sleep. It's scientifically proven. And it's like, oh my God. Like, bro, you need to understand that these things that are developed, these studies that are done by science don't apply across the board to everybody. And they don't apply in certain situations. It's done in a vacuum. Life isn't a vacuum. So yes, they're good guidelines. At the end of the day, you have to make the choice that's right for you. You have to make the choice that's right for you. And for me, waking up on time and hitting that wake up time is 10 times more important to me than me getting the right amount of sleep every night. Because I know if I wake up late, what's going to happen? I don't really feel that disciplined today. I kind of feel like a failure because I missed my wake up time. So I'm going to go eat some junk food. Okay, now I miss my macros. Okay, now I'm adding on, too much weight. Oh, yeah, I don't really feel like going to the gym today. So I skip out on lifting. I don't really feel like making a video today. I don't really feel like making any content today. I skip out on that. You see, it all leads into each other. If you give up on one thing, if you miss one thing, if you don't start your day off right, then everything has a domino effect where it all just comes tumbling down. And so that's why for me, it's more important to prioritize the habits of waking up on time because I know that sets the tone for the rest of the day. If I wake up just late and I just wing it, the tone of my day is what? What is the tone of my day? Oh, I just woke up. And I just woke up and it doesn't really matter when I wake up. I don't have any definite time. I don't have any habits. I'm not doing anything hard that I don't want to do. So think about that. Think about that when you're trying to form your habits. Think about that as you're going throughout your day, as you are trying to avoid distractions and things that might kind of derail you, is that it all just comes down to habits, bro. It all comes down to habits. The secret is the habits. The secret is the person that you can be in terms of your discipline, in terms of your willpower, and in terms of your motivation to be doing what you actually enjoy doing. So your habits will make or break you. So make the right decision. Make the right decision every day. Take a moment when you're about to make that choice. You're about to drink or you're about to smoke that weed. Make a choice when you're about to turn that alarm off and go back to bed, whether or not it's worth it to you, because you know you're sacrificing. You're sacrificing in that moment for your comfort right now. You want to feel comfortable right now. You're sacrificing the rewards that you could have in the future. You're sacrificing the person that you could build today. It all comes down to just today, bro. That's all it is. It just comes down to today. There's a there's a song I always used to listen to. If you had watched Rocky, there's this whole scene where they're boxing and he's just like, he's just failing. He's kind of giving up. His spirit is just down. And the guy's like, asking him like, what's going on? And then Rocky just says, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm just not doing well, man, whatever. And then he's like, tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow. And the guy goes, there is no tomorrow. And that's how you have to act, bro. That's how you have to act every single day. There is no tomorrow. Today is the day. You don't know. Tomorrow could be your last day. God forbid, but you have to live today as if it's your last day. Every single day. And when you start to do that, when you start to have that perspective, when you start to stop thinking about, oh, I can't wait till I get my six-pack abs and oh, I can't wait till I'm a millionaire and I've got an amazing car and whatever else you may be thinking. If you start to focus on what you can do today and doing that at the highest level with the highest vibration and the highest inspiration and motivation going into that, you will get the result you seek because you're focused on the process. You've practiced the law of detachment. And since you've let go of that thing, it will now be attracted to you because you're doing what you need to do every single day. And all those days add up, bro. The way I look at it is every single day is a battle, right? Every day is a battle. But over time, winning the result, getting that result that you seek is winning the war, right? So it comes down to just a different mindset. If the result you want in life, right, the body you want, the money you might want, that's winning the war, right? That's what you get when you win the war. But in order to win the war, you must win many battles. And every one of those battles is a day, right? That's how I view it. So every day you wake up, just think you're going to battle. You're going to fight. And the fight is against yourself. Are you going to give up today? Are you going to take the easy path? Or are you going to do what you need to do, even though you don't really feel like doing it? You're going to do what's hard now so that you can actually become the man you need to be. A man that you can fucking respect. A man that other people can actually look up to you. Like, do you honestly feel like you respect yourself? Like, can you honestly look at yourself in the mirror and say, I respect myself. I respect the work that I put in every single day. Even if you don't have that result yet. Can you honestly look at yourself and say, hey, I know every single day I've been crushing my habits. I've been crushing what I need to do. Because if you can't, you don't need to live like that anymore. You can change that. You can become the guy where you look at yourself in the mirror, even if you don't have the body yet, even if you don't have the money yet, and you can just say, you know what? I respect myself for the work that I put in every day. I value myself, and in my self-worth and my self-belief and self-image is based not even on the result anymore. It's just based on the amount of work that I put in. It's just based on the effort that I'm putting in to my journey of personal development. So your habits will make or break you. That's going to be it. That's the message for today. And make sure to keep ascending. See you in the next one.